said. The Lord said that these devils going to turn everything upside down. Call good evil and evil good. A woman shall surpass a man. Children shall be their oppressors, man.
It said that surely the things turning upside down should be esteemed as a potter's clay.
Yeah.
Meaning, Esau turned everything upside down, and he made it seem as though he's deceived the people to think that that's how it's supposed to be. The guy, see, they call it what? Oh, we progressed as a society. That's what Esau says. Right. When he came into power, he civilized and he progressed society. And really, he degressed society. Things are worse now than they were even during Esau's first kingdom. During the Greeks, even though that's when it still started. Wickedness started to multiply. But imagine if it started to multiply then, thousands of years later, that's only what? Just only replicating more and more wickedness. And what he has done, being the great deceiver, is make people believe that what he's doing is actually better for life. But when you look at the fruits of it, you got more death, more homicide, more sickness, more diseases. You got new diseases popping up all the time, man. And a part of those new diseases is goes into what how people relationships are, man. The fact that you got a lot of women thinking like men, well, think like a man and acting like a man. A lot of venereal diseases actually come from women, man. Yeah. Women are the main carriers of those STDs. And how do the women get those STDs? It's because they're letting multiple men enter into them.
Hey, think about where bacteria hides at, in dark, wet, moist places. And that's a what? A vagina.
Yep.
You know? And brothers, I was talking to a brother, one of his daughters, and that's why YAHAWASHI got to come back, because see, when a woman hit of age, you marry them off. Because now they start to what? Ovulate and stuff. When a woman ovulates, she has the real urge and need. She's in heat. And a woman ovulate every month. So now when your daughter turn, it's a show out called The Sex Lives of College Girls or some shit like that. But once a woman turn of age, you had to marry them off, or they would be pressed to go out and mingle with the world. And basically be turned into, I'm gonna keep it straight, turned into a whore. Because once they hit of age, you marry them off because they hot. They hot as hell. Why do you think they call it a sweet 16? By the time they 16, by the time you touch their arm, their legs just like pop smooth open. And they super flirtatious, and that's why, but it's like, yo, even if I was to marry her off, these knucklehead dumbass niggas out here, who the fuck would I marry her off to? Then I can't give it to a brother, because brother's older. She's 14, 15, right? So they get bagged. So what do I do? So it's kind of like you could try to talk to her, but when she's going to school around all that masculine energy, she just getting deflowered. She's 14, 15 years old, other shit like that. Then you got the phones where you can type in a fucking porn video or something like that. So they got all of this access to these different things, and their hormones is literally going crazy. Like, that's what a lot of men today don't understand. Your daughter, once she hit a certain age, her hormones is jumping out of her fucking pants at a certain time, especially when she ovulates. And that's why men knew, like, yo, I gotta marry this hot biscuit off. That's why, you know, before they even hit 12, 13, you'll start looking at them like at 11. You know, 10 or 11, like, all right, she's about to, you know, so we talking about the Israelite women. Some of them get hot a little earlier. But you like, oh, you know, no, you gotta wait. You know what I'm saying? Then you'll marry her off fast. That way she got a husband that's popping her. She got a family. She got a kid. It's her needs is getting met, but she's not venturing out, hoeing out.
They say that even growing up. They be like, you see like a young girl that's getting to her age, they'd be like, you know, the older people be like, oh, you better keep an eye on that one. If she's gonna be a pretty, she's like the older women will say, oh, she's gonna be pretty when she go, you better keep the boys away from her. Yeah. And that's why in that mindset, you gotta be like, and if you're in a righteous mind, like, you know, I gotta make sure I marry her off, give somebody, because even a man back in the ancient world, he didn't want no woman that was already dealt with. So you wanted to keep your daughter pure so that you can get a profit from her. Because that's what that was. It was an exchange.
That's why they prearranged it.
It was a prearranged exchange that you were going to benefit from. That was going to benefit your household, and also was going to benefit her from being with a righteous man. I got
if
a
you
quick
waited
precept.
too long and she got pregnant, and what it say she get found with child in her father's house, nobody want her no more.
Right.
And now she's stuck with you forever.
be
Now
alive to
you and
stop.
your wife can't enjoy yourself because you know once after raising your kids, you and your wife, see your kids wasn't supposed to be a burden to you forever like now. How this society's set up. You and your wife supposed to go back to enjoying y'all, you know, y'all marriage, and your kids just venture out and marry out. But if you get stuck with them, that's different because it's like now nobody wants you, or it's going to be very hard for me to marry you.
Sirach, Ecclesiasticus 26, verse 10. It says, if thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty.
Right, that's what I said. Give her not liberty, God abroad, man. Read that again.
It says, if thy daughter be shameless, and that's the majority of our women,
Right.
keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty.
What's gonna happen if she's out and about, man? She gonna basically be a heart. She gonna be a thought, man.
Bust it down, thought
Yeah,
down.
that's what's gonna happen, man. And to veer off from the women, that's how the Lord looks at Israel. That's what Israel did. That's why the Lord compared Israel to a woman. And those different adulteries was those different religions, man.
Hey.
That's how we. I'm sorry, you want to say? No, I said that's how the Lord compares Israel to a female, man. Because that's the best way to show that something that's supposed to have only one master it was the Lord. And we went off in those other doctrines of religions were those other men.
And it says that they will keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself
Right.
over much liberty, and that's what happened to Jake, man.
Yes, right, man.
We've been abused because we wanted that liberty to go abroad, to go to see what do those gods do?
Yeah.
Oh, what are those gods?
pretty cool.
How was that? Oh, how do you worship your God here? And then what ended up happening? You leave from your first love, you leave from your faithful husband, and then now you getting abused. And look where Jake is at now.
Jeremiah the 3rd chapter.
We're in an abuse situation, man. An abuse and misuse situation. Now, in this hour, you know the Lord has so much mercy, because if you had a wife, or you had let's say you had a wife that was just, like that movie Temptation.
I saw that.
You ever seen the Tyler Perry movie? Basically, she wanted to, because she knew him since they were like in their middle school, and they grew up together. They ended up getting married together, and that's the only man she knew. And after a while, when she got older, she basically had that mindset of, I want to, I want to know what other things is about. Only thing I know is you. Only life I ever known had you in it. So she ended up becoming basically a whore, and she ended up getting HIV from dealing with another man. And after that man, obviously when he found out, he left her and he didn't get her back. But that happens a lot of times where the woman does that and they end up getting abused, and something happening, or they become a jump, or they get something and they end up getting like a STD. That man is going to be done with you. But the Lord is so bad and the Lord is so merciful that even us, as we went to these other gods, the Lord still had mercy on us and brought us back. I believe
Jeremiah
brother
3.
Yeah, Jeremiah the 3rd chapter.
Land be
That's what happened.
defiled.
Yeah, you have it? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, this is the book of Jeremiah chapter 3. I'm gonna start at the top. It says, they say, if a man put away his wife, and she go from him and become another man's, shall he return unto her again?
And that's like if a man put away his wife.
Right.
Right? And a man that's why the Lord said that you can't put away your wife save for fornication. Basically adultery.
Right.
So go ahead.
Yeah. And it says, okay, shall not that land be greatly polluted, but thou hast played the harlot with many lovers, yet return again to me, saith the Lord.
And that's bad,
the
man.
metaphor right there.
that's so much mercy, because it's like, I know for a fact I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. There's no way.
right.
There is no way that I'm doing that, man. I don't care how long we've been together. I don't care how bad you are. I don't care how good the box is. I'm not doing it.
Even if you find out about a woman, say a woman had like a real sexual explicit past, it's just like I don't want to know. If you found out about, say if she was an ex-porn star but you didn't know, she didn't want to bring it out to you, and then you found out later, you probably cut it off.
Yep.
Even if you tried to like push it on, that shit like
It'll mess with you.
bothering you to the point where it'll like break your relationship.
Even if your girl let's say she went out with her friends and got drunk, and then ended up doing something like that, that's still, and she's like, let's say she don't remember that, that still is going to be an issue. I'm still not forgiving you for that. Because ultimately, you weren't even supposed to be getting drunk to that point. You weren't supposed to be getting drunk outside at all. But in this society, women got that liberty to do it, and then they end up abusing themselves. Right. But the Lord is so merciful to Israel, and that's how you know the Lord only loves Israel, man. Yep. He's not doing that. First of all, he didn't even have that covenant with nobody else. But he's talking to Israel that, I'm not even going to go to any other nation or any other, metaphorically speaking, woman outside of you. I'm still going to deal with you. I'm still going to deal with you through Yahweh. Yeah.
If it wasn't for Yahweh, because you probably like, man, the Lord is sucking for that. Nah, he ain't. Because if it wasn't for YAHAWASHI, we was asked out.
Hey, and it's so bad because in YAHAWASHI's coronation at Solomon, he did it first. He did it. And it's like,
wasn't for YAHAWASHI,
that's why YAHAWASHI had to come back. Like, all right, this time I ain't dealing with women. It's like, I already learned from my past life. I ain't dealing with them. I'm gonna come and I'm gonna be strictly pure in the eyes of the Father, man. Because I done messed up, and I messed up because of the woman. That's why the scripture says through the woman we all die.
Right. It said in the Jeremiah, when it reads on, it says, well, I read it. It says, but thou hast played the harlot with many lovers. So remember, if you put off a woman, if a woman gets with another man, that's already off. Yeah. But it said you OD'd. It said you played the harlot with many lovers, man. So that means all these religions that Jake is doing, that's those many lovers, man. And when you read down, it says verse 2. It says, I go to jump to 3. It says, therefore the showers have been withholden, and there have been no latter rain, and thou hast had a whore's forehead that refuses to be ashamed. It said, hold up, wilt thou not from this time cry unto me, my father, that thou art the God of my youth?
He said you had a whore's forehead. Yo, you put that shit in a rap.
And that's basically the Lord asking, like, and now you gonna come back to me? Like he said in the first verse, now you gonna come back to me crying? Oh, now you won't come back to me. Because think about even these movies when these women have an affair, and it's usually the guy he got his shit together. He might, he's good in the in the sack, as they say. And she goes on because she just wants something different. What's gonna happen when that man that she laid with as an adultery be like, I don't like you no more. I don't want you. You good? I'm gonna go back to my other girls. You know what I'm saying? She gonna go back to that man and be like, I'm so sorry. That's what the Lord said Israel is, man. That begging ass hoe. Oh, I'm sorry. You are my one true love. But it's too late because you already did the deed. So now you gotta get the judgment.
Ezekiel 16:37, behold, therefore I will gather all thy lovers with whom thou hast taken pleasure, and all them that thou hast loved, with all them that thou hast hated. I will even gather them round about against thee, and will discover thy nakedness unto them, that they may see all thy nakedness, and I will judge thee as women that break wedlock.
That's right. Hey, it's like being caught having an affair, man. And it's like the R. Kelly Usher, the same girl. You gonna be embarrassed, man. Israel's embarrassed, man, because these other nations, you taking on their philosophies and religions. Now you embarrassed because they don't want nothing to do with you, man. These other nations don't want nothing to do with you, but that's all right. That's all right. You shouldn't want nothing to do with them either, and they know that. They know you not. They know you ain't got no part with them, man. But they know that they're not better than you. So,
they don't even got a part.
Yeah, they don't have a part. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like they don't have no part in this. The Lord said He's gonna lift His hand against the Gentiles. Can you get that Isaiah 49 chapter?
Yeah, I'll just read that verse. It said, "And shed 38, and I will judge thee as women that break wedlock, and shed blood are judged, and I will give thee blood and fury and jealousy."
It's that judgment, man. So you can't just come back crying back to Yahweh, and you can't come back crying to YAHAWASHI, because YAHAWASHI is doing the bidding of Yahweh, man, solely. And ain't no like get a deal on the side like YAHAWASHI. I'm saying nah. YAHAWASHI is already coming with the judgment that Yahweh laid out. He just bringing out because Yahweh set up YAHAWASHI to carry out His judgments, man. You know what I'm saying? 49.
49. Yeah, 49.
Hey, we just talking about the women.
I knew it was gonna be an
Fender
accident
bender.
soon enough. All these it's almost accidents.
Yeah, here it is.
Okay, yeah, right there. Is that 20?
22.
Okay, 22, yeah.
Isaiah 49 and 22. Thus
So you don't
saith
know
the
how to
Lord
do a
Yahawah, by Hashem Yahawashi, behold, I will lift up mine hand to the Gentiles and set up my standard to the people, and they shall bring thy sons in their arms, and thy daughters shall be carried upon their shoulders.
Hey, basically gonna be our servants, man. And when the Lord lifts up his hand against the Gentiles, it's gonna jack them up. You ain't got no part in this, man. When all our people in these ghettos, in these streets, man, the Lord gonna help us out, man. It's gonna go for it.
He's got his mouth. Hand is Yahawashi.
Yeah, your hand is Yahawashi.
Isaiah 49 and 23, and kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and their queens thy nursing mothers. They shall bow down to thee with their face toward the earth.
They're gonna bow down to Yahawashi first, and then to his joint heirs, and then to the whole nation of Israel. That's who you're gonna bow down to. Those niggas and spits, all that, you're gonna bow down to us.
And lick up the dust of thy feet, and thou shalt know that I am Yahawah.
They shall know.
That I am Yahawah by Hashem Yahawashi, for they shall not be ashamed that wait for me.
They shall not be ashamed that wait for me. And that's what we're doing, Lord willing. We want to be part of that number, man. We want to be part of that number that's going to get the glory with Yahawashi. Okay? Then she passed the Benz. Yeah, that was it.
Oh, yeah, these dumbass.
Yeah,
Judgment.
see, man. Say, man. Yeah, that's the last verse. That's the last verse. So, yeah, with that, hopefully this is edifying. We give all praise to Yahawah, by Hashem Yahawashi, by Hashem Rakakadash, and Dhamma out to the Apostles of Israel, aka the Apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and love to all the Akim. Continue to preach the truth in all true sincerity.
Hey,
Shalom
shalom.
until next time.
Shalom.
I ain't hearing that shit.